Welcome everyone to Actually Real Wrestling. I am your host, Jeff Sunday, and you are here watching the alternative to the alternative in pro wrestling. And we have another jam-packed card for you as we approach the first ever actual heavyweight championship tournament to crown the first ever heavyweight champion. We've got a couple qualifiers for you. Awesome action from AAA and Lucha Underground. And for our main event, The Undertaker will face Andre the Giant, Legend versus Legend. Before we get into it, want to say hello to the chat. Folks that are showing up, Zap on Twitch, a fellow member of the DL Gaming crew. What up, Zap? Back for a second show. Thank you for being here. Shout out to Nicholas Infante, part of the Wrestling Cup Classic family, where you might have heard me this past Thursday call my first card. It was stupid fun. Kosugi in the chat. Checked him out earlier. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. That's what it looks like. Been having fun watching Kosugi get the Fire Pro promoter mode. We got Rex Gamewell. He wants to see a few matches, and we got some. But before we do that, I gotta flex this real quick, because this is the unofficial kickoff to the actual heavyweight championship tournament. And as I said at the top of the broadcast, we have a couple qualifier matches for you. The first competitor, you might have heard of him. He's only the biggest movie star in the world today. His name is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. We used to call him The Rock back in the day. And through an interaction with a new friend of mine on Instagram, and I'm at JeffSundayGG on Instagram, as the ARW chats fly through, press.start2_ said, after reaching out, the first thing he said to me was just The Rock versus Ultimate Warrior. And I said, that is a good idea, sir. So press.start, not sure if you're watching, but we are going to put The Rock's slot on the line. The winner of this matchup will claim a spot in that 32-man tournament kicking off next week to crown the first ever actual heavyweight champion. I've been jabbering long enough. We are at Madison Square Garden. Referee Earl Hebner, who better to officiate the action tonight? I'll be doing some of the calling. With that, we are going to go to the ring. Coming to the ring at this time, the most electrifying man in all of entertainment, the great one, The Rock. And a man formerly known as Just Rock himself, tore through WWF in the 90s, none other than the Ultimate Warrior. Constantly, luckily we're resilient. We are going to start this matchup. Two wrestlers coming back out of their corners. We are going to start again here. Rock into the ropes, back body drop by Ultimate Warrior. He hits the left hand again, and now The Rock seems like he's ready to fire back now. Connection with the right hand, follows it up with a boot to the midsection. Warrior with a short arm clothesline, takes The Rock off his feet, and a body slam by the Warrior for good measure. And much like the first start to this matchup, the Warrior is the aggressor in the opening moments. So far, we have a Warrior guy, Marcus, in the chat. AEW chants breaking out. This audience, they are not pleased. They're here for their fights, and they're going to let us know. Rock creates some space, front face lock, and hits the suplex. Looked like Warrior was about to go to the outside, but he stayed in there. There's that short arm clothesline by the Warrior. And you have to expect that the Warrior will have the strength upper hand as he reverses this suplex attempt. Rock puts Warrior into the corner and answers back with a body slam. That sends Warrior to the outside, and Rock is going after him. He's not going to let him off easily here. Rock knows he has to show no fear and bring the fight to Warrior.
6, 7.
And this is Fire Pro Wrestling rules, 20-second count before the countdown as Rock hits the shoulder breaker on the outside. Now it's about time to start thinking about breaking the count here. Again, the winner of this match will win a slot in the 32-man tournament to crown the first ever actual heavyweight champion. A lot riding on the line here. Warrior was not originally on the list, but by sheer force of will of the fan base, here he is fighting for a shot as The Rock goes low and starts raining down the right hands on the Warrior. Warrior has to cover up. And Rock hits the clothesline into the corner, follows it up with a right hand. Warrior knocked out. Drops to his knees on that one. And Rock answers back this time with a short arm clothesline of his own. Rock starting to string together the offense. Needed to get back into it. Seems the trip to the outside was in his favor. Referee Earl Hebner letting him go here with the low blows. Just letting him work. Belly-to-belly suplex. Rock caught Warrior as he was coming back from the rope. Goes for the first cover here. Two, and kick out by Warrior. And this ARW arena, they are glad this one isn't over yet. As Warrior starts to land the right hands and just uses the brute force to put Rock down on the mat. Warrior into the ropes here. Thought we were going to see the big splash, but instead goes back to the clothesline. That keeps working for Warrior. Rock backflips out of the belly-to-back suplex and hits a short arm clothesline. And now Rock.
Give up. Give up.
Getting on top of the prone Warrior and starting to rain the right hands. And sticking to the strikes. And Rock now firing up this arena. Rock into the ropes. Warrior is dazed. What's he going to do here? Signature Tornado DDT by The Rock. We've seen it a million times, but Warrior gets right back to it. And into the submission now. Uncharacteristic of Warrior. But you can tell he needed a break here to break up the action. And it's worked out for him. Big splash by Warrior. The signature covers up here too, and Rock kicks out. Not gonna go quietly. A few big right hands by Warrior. He fires up, but needs to catch his breath here. The Rock is dazed. Warrior's gassed. Just like real life, the Warrior, you know, he doesn't get paid by the hour. He's here to finish the thing early if he can. Takedown by Warrior. And now Warrior going on the offensive now as he hits a power slam as The Rock came from the opposite side. And Rock looking to create space, and there's a gorilla press by Warrior, his finishing maneuver. Will we see the big splash? No, Warrior's gonna keep piling it on here. He sends Rock into the corner, and Rock is in desperation mode now, needs to create some space. Warrior sends him to the ropes and hits the lariat, follows it up with an elbow. And Warrior now really starting to pile it on as The Rock hits a Samoan drop just when he needed it. And Rock circles Warrior now, has him set up here and gets the belly to back. Suplex, follows it up with a dragon leg whip. Gonna start attacking every limb of the Warrior, and he follows it up with his sharpshooter. But too close to the rope, Earl Hebner calls for the rope break. And it's a clothesline for Warrior. And he is firing up, and that is bad news for The Rock here. They never met in a real ring, but it's happening here tonight on actually real wrestling. Warrior into the ropes, Rock is dazed, and a big shoulder tackle by the Ultimate Warrior. Feeding off of the Warriors, but celebrating too soon. No, Warrior hits a clothesline. He's able to get it under control there as Rock hit the ropes. Rock now going for the rock bottom. He got it. Rock bottom. Rock bottom. Rock for the cover. Outside leg hook. 1, 2.9. Warrior kicks out at the last moment. Rock is still in it. Warrior's hopes of entering the tournament still alive here. But he's out on his feet. And now they're going to trade blows. And who wants it more? Lefts for rights. Rights for lefts. Rock says, no, no. Big clothesline by The Rock. And The Rock now hits a scoop slam. Looking for that sharpshooter. I think he's far enough away from the ropes. Yes, Warrior might submit here. Could this be the matchup? No, Warrior on his own steam manages to kick out of the sharpshooter. Not easy. And he goes right into the Gorilla Press Slam. Drops The Rock like a sack of potatoes, but The Rock is right back up. Unbelievable fire. You can see how badly these two want an opportunity to be the first ever actual heavyweight champion. As The Rock is sent to the ropes now. Warrior waiting on him, but Rock just takes him down with a quick shove. Swinging neck breaker for The Rock. First time we've seen him use that in the matchup. And goes to the opposite side. Jumping clothesline for The Rock. And you can see the fatigue setting in. Both men gasping for air, catching it where they can. Belly to belly suplex by Rock. They're both down now. This is ARW. Rock going to it again. Belly to belly. Measures the Warrior here. What's he going to do? But Warrior suddenly springs to, has The Rock up for the Gorilla Press Slam for a third time here. Double axe handle. Takes The Rock down. All he can handle. And the chant breaks out into the chant ARW as Warrior hits the pile driver, spike The Rock right in the middle of the ring. And now The Rock going low. Earl Hebner not calling the disqualification. Looks like he was looking the other way, but he definitely should have seen that. But if you've been watching ARW, Earl Hebner, a history of missed calls, and that The Rock and Warrior now have gotten away with a couple dirtier than usual plays here. They're still trading open palm strikes, those signature strikes from The Rock that he made famous all those years ago. And Hebner looked like he was about to break it up, but doesn't. Rock's up top, and he drops. No, missing with the elbow. Warrior up at the last moment. Follows it up with a big left hand. Rock now hits a DDT out of desperation. This audience, they are going nuts in Madison Square Garden as The Rock dumps Warrior to the outside and he's after him. Warrior puts Rock into the corner in that barricade. This man here holding the sign, he's going nuts. Warrior's going to send Rock to the opposite side and he crashes into the barricade again. Incredible action. This is the first match of the card thus far. We've got 3 more big ones to go as Rock hits Warrior with a barbed wire bat. My goodness. Uncharacteristic of the electrifying. Great one. He hits him again. And it looks like The Rock is going for it. The People's Elbow. Could it be? Yes, the People's Elbow. Right with Warrior on that barbed wire bat. But Warrior fires up with a Gorilla Press Slam. Is he going to put The Rock away here? Oh my God, Rock to the opposite side. Hits him with a clothesline. And Rock is busted open. Somehow, Warrior stayed in it after 2 shots from that bat. And Warrior's going up top. Don't tell me. Oh my goodness, double axe handle from the top. And an elbow from the Warrior. Ultimate Warrior showing what legends are made of. The lariat hits for Warrior. He's firing up, hits the ropes, and he collides with Earl Hebner. Hebner's busted open, my God. Someone help Hebner here. Jesus Christ, is Hebner going to be able to officiate the rest of this matchup? As Warrior hits the flying shoulder tackle. You can sense it. Could it be the end of this match? Warrior going for seconds here. He's into the ropes. Hits the shoulder tackle one more time, and Warrior is gassed. As am I. 2 quick elbows from the Warrior. Rock is down. Rock has had no answer. That last Gorilla Press Slam really took it out of the Great One. And a spike pile driver on the head won't help. Warrior now. This could be it. Big shoulder, but Rock firing back up. He hits 2 big right hands and laying the boots to the ass of Warrior as he dumps them to the outside. Rock has had lots of luck thus far, putting the work in on the outside. This time he's putting Warrior into that barricade, and Warrior eats it now. Is Rock going to go for another weapon here? Well, Rock's inviting him to stand up. Warrior showing that toughness. They don't make them like that anymore, folks. Here on ARW, we get only the best of best wrestlers past, present, today. And that's why you are watching the electrifying one land the right hands on the Ultimate Warrior. First time ever these two have been on ARW, and now they want the shot for their second time to be in that heavyweight championship tournament. The Rock showing off the wrestling acumen, hits the belly-to-belly suplex on the Warrior. And now we're back to square one. Nothing fancy about it. Blow for blow, these two trading. But this time Warrior gets into the 3-point stance, takes down Rock with a huge shoulder tackle. And what's it gonna be? The Rock bottom, the Gorilla Press Slam. It's a Samoan drop from the Rock. Shades of his heritage. His father, Rocky Johnson, his great-grandfather, Peter Maivia, all riding with the electrifying man. As Zap calling for him to go up top. Warrior misses with the clothesline and just uses the brute force there to take down the Rock. And it's the big splash by Warrior. Could this be it? 2 and 3. Ultimate Warrior has eliminated the Rock. He's taken his spot in that actual heavyweight championship tournament. What a matchup. In the end, the Ultimate Warrior, and this match is going in the Hall of 100, which you can find on our YouTube channel. 100% match. Zap, you called it 5 stars, but not the decision you wanted. But don't worry, The Rock, too big to ignore. You can expect to see him on ARW again soon. What a matchup. And a reminder, this is what it's all for, folks. The actual heavyweight championship tournament. Coming up, we're going to start next week. 4 matches, and we'll be in that format for a full month. We'll give you 4 straight matches. That'll be round 1. Single elimination style tournament. And then we will go straight into the second round of 16 until we narrow it down to a grand final just a couple weeks from then, and we will crown the first ever actual heavyweight champion. What a way to kick off this card, and we have just another one for you. For those of you who are big fans of the custom edits that comes to Fire Pro Wrestling World, this is for you, this next match here. It'll be a triple threat, and this is going to feature performers from the Senatorial Office, run by Senator Phillips, who's recently become a source of fantastic talent. We had Felix Santana Jr. on a recent card, and so I went back to the Senator and said, I need candidates for this tournament. And he gave me 3 big names, and so we're putting them in a triple threat for one more spot in that heavyweight championship tournament. So it will be Tarkin the Mangler, Frank Michelson, and the Everyman, As we go back now to Fire Pro Wrestling, this will be a first fall win scenario. Realized I've been talking and streaming here. So again, red, blue, and yellow singlet is Tarkin the Mangler. The man in the Chicago Bears uniform. Frank the Freight Train McMichelson and the Everyman, man in the vest and the combat boots. This is a standard triple threat match. First pinfall wins a spot in the actual heavyweight championship tournament.
Give up.
And the trick to this matchup is being able to incapacitate your opponents and somehow score the pinfall or submission. World Championship Wrestling Syndicate, always showing up on the live streams on YouTube. Thank you for joining us again. Great to see you in the chat. And these are all first-time ARW competitors here, and they are looking to show what they've got, what the fantastic promotions under the Senatorial Office have to offer. And a temporary alliance for the Freight Train and the Mangler, but they are right back at each other's throats. You won't see those alliances last long here. Package Fisherman Suplex was coming up, but broken up by the Everyman. And Everyman now landing a couple quick right hands on the Mangler. And Freight Train fighting dirty there. Some rapid punches, follows it up with a short arm clothesline on the Mangler. And gives one to the Everyman for good measure. Mangler sends Everyman into the ropes. They collide. Still no one edging out as the aggressor. We've seen temporary alliances, double teams where it makes sense, but doesn't last long as the Mangler puts the Freight Train into the corner. And the Freight Train didn't learn that on the football field as he hits the suplex on the Mangler. Everyman hits a fireman's carry and rolls through it. The Mangler, the big man's up on top now, waiting. Oh, I thought he was going to fly there, but he thought better of it. Going back up to the top is the Mangler and hits the frog splash. 300-pounder shouldn't be able to do that. Mangler goes for the first cover of the match, and it's a 2.9. Everyman, not sure he's familiar with the rules. He should have been breaking that up immediately. First pinfall or submission will take the victory and win that spot in the tournament. Jumping Fisherman Suplex by the Mangler connects. What a move by Tarkin. The Mangler, this time he's taking the belly to back suplex from Freight Train, the former defensive tackle. Marcus, please feel free to give a shout out if you know anyone. We are still in the growing stage at Actually Real Wrestling. Every eyeball, every view, every follow, every upvote means everything. It's awesome. I appreciate you taking time. I'm having a blast doing it. I hope you are too. As Tarkin looks to be having a blast, hits the Gorilla Press Slam, follows it up with a couple knees there. As I was saying, please feel free to share. Us wrestling fans, let alone Fire Pro Wrestling fans, we are few and far between. We have to reach out to each other and find each other. But we are out there. I found, if you look, we're out there. Easy to find. Follow me on Twitter at Jeff Sunday, on Instagram at Jeff Sunday GG. You're already watching on Twitch or YouTube, so follow or subscribe. Thoroughly appreciate it, but you're already doing us a favor being here. As the Mangler going to work here, sends Everyman to the outside. He has a window, but he's too gassed. Those huge clubbing blows on the back. Full Nelson hold there, and he slams the Everyman. It's all the Mangler right now. Hitting predicament here, has the 2 count. But Freight Train McMichelson able to break it up, and he's covering up these shots on the back. Everyman returning the favor a receipt from the shots earlier. And this time an alliance between Freight Train and the Everyman. They hit the double power bomb on the Mangler, and wisely so, had to cut off the Mongolian. Everyman was going to hit the ropes, changed his mind. Quick elbow by the Freight Train. Now just raising the kitchen sink right into the midsection. That seems to be effective. He's using that huge frame that made him so successful all those years ago for the Chicago Bears. Marcus, love the show. That means we're doing something right, man. That means everything. Thank you for saying so, brother. Absolutely. Shout out to our friends from the Gamer Under Development community. Recently made us an affiliate promotion. If you haven't checked out Good Fights Wrestling, you're missing out. A fantastic roster. And I will spoil that the GFW Heavyweight Champion, Xavier Shamrock, will be participating in the actual Heavyweight Championship tournament. GFW will be represented in that tournament kicking off next week. But right now, it's all for one shot. One of these three competitors will also be in that tournament alongside Xavier Shamrock. Who's it gonna be? Will it be the Mangler? Will it be Frank, the Freight Train McMichelson? Or will it be the Everyman, the Union Man? Coming out of the Texas Independent Pro Wrestling Federation. All of these performers, courtesy of Senator Phillips. If you're on Steam in the Steam Workshop, search for Senator Phillips. You will find these creations. They can be running in your Fire Pro game today. That's the beauty of this game and this community. As the Freight Train has a torture rack, and this could be a submission here. The Mangler trying to make his way over. Couldn't break it up. Luckily, the Everyman able to will his way out of that submission. As the Mangler hits the scoop slam, sends Freight Train to the ropes, and Mangler drops the two big knees. And Tarkin, the Mangler here, is gassed, as is the Freight Train. The two big men, and Everyman's just worse for wear here. He's been on the receiving end of so much of the offense of the past several minutes. Who's going to get that first pinfall or submission? A temporary alliance between the Freight Train and the Mangler. Mangler up top, and he drops the knees again on Everyman. Oh, Everyman's got to be feeling it at this point. Oh my God, that's 3 times now the Mangler, that 300-plus pounder landing on your abdomen. You can't blame Everyman for being out on his feet there at the bottom of your screen. Big knee for Tarkin lands, and Tarkin has a spot to breathe here, drinking in this moment, sensing it could be over here as Freight Train hits a power slam, then hits the shoulder block on Tarkin. Left hand to the Everyman, and the Mangler takes him down. This is the trouble with a triple threat. You have the upper hand for a moment, and next thing you know, that third guy in the ring right behind you to spoil the moment. Another double power bomb. The Tarkin and the Mangler gets it. He is a beast, is the Mongolian, who hits the ropes now and somehow hits a spinning heel kick on the Everyman. It's an overused trope, but a guy that big should not be able to move that way, and yet the Mongolian can do it. But Freight Train making his presence felt. Going into the ropes. Freight Train certainly has solid cardio from being a professional NFL player, as the package falling slam by the Mongolian sends Everyman to the outside. And a front face lock going for a fisherman suplex. He got it. And a big right hand takes down Everyman. Is the Mongolian going to go for the cover here? No. He's going to set up Frank one more time, but that cost him as Frank hits the clubbing blow to the back, and Everyman with a huge suplex sends Frank to the outside. And here's that package slam again from the Mongolian, the Mangler. And Frank going for the cover here. Is the Everman going to make it yet? No, it didn't need it. Tarkin able to kick out on his own steam, and just wailing on the Everyman is the Mangler. And Frank is up top. What's he going to do here? Went for the flying elbow, but didn't land it. Mangler getting Everyman out of the way. He can say thank you later, but I don't think he will, as Mangler drops those knees across the midsection, this time the back of the Everyman. And if anyone's going to eat the pin in this matchup, you gotta feel that it's probably the Everyman. He's just been on the receiving end of so much offense from the Mangler and the Freight Train. Back and forth, it's gone. And he goes to the outside on a suplex. Mangler has a window. Freight Train answers back with a big left hand. These two behemoths are trading blows. And the Mangler, shades of a defensive tackle, maybe an offensive one, hits the shoulder tackle on Freight Train. Dumps the Everyman to the outside, front face lock, and he's going for that package slam again, and he got it. That sends Freight Train onto the outside. And now the Mangler moving away from the Freight Train, and he's taking the Everman up top. Look out, folks. Here it is. The Muscle Buster looks like. He's got him set up, and he got it. Muscle Buster, shades of Samoa Joe. Short arm clothesline for Freight Train. He gets one on the Mangler as well, but the Mangler, this time he's connecting with those short punches. Looked like he was punching the ear of the Everyman. No, you certainly do. You would have to look out for Mangler, but this is not an over-the-top rope battle royal. But you can believe he would certainly be dominant in such a matchup. We're looking for a pinfall or a submission, the first one for a final spot in the tournament for the first ever actual heavyweight championship, as the Mangler just raining right hands on the Freight Train, and Freight Train's out on his feet. Everyman now starting to pick up the pace here. It seems he's somehow caught a second wind. As Mangler goes to the top, misses with the knees. That's going to cost the big man. Everyman here drops the elbow on the Freight Train's knees. And Gorilla Press Slam for Tarkin, the Mangler. But it's broken up by a right hand from the Freight Train. Frank Michelson showing off the strength here as a full Nelson Slam lands for the Mongolian. And you got to hand it to the Everman after the offense he's taken, that he's still coming back for more. And a crossbody hits for Frank off the top rope. Puts the Everman on the apron. The cover's not going to work because of the proximity of the rope. And a clubbing blow. Oh, what a move there by the Mangler. And there's that spinning heel kick. This time lands on the Freight Train. And Tarkin was going back up, but Everyman's presence made him think twice. Two quick elbows by the Mangler, and he's mangling Frank McMichelson right now with these inside punches. Just right onto the jawline there. McMichelson sends him to the ropes. Collision with the Everyman, and that opens the window for the Freight Train. And the Freight Train's coming down the tracks. This time collides with Tarkin. My goodness. What action here on Actually Real Wrestling. And broken up by Everyman, the scoop slam. Front face lock, and Everyman gets up. The former defensive tackle. Triple collision in the middle of the ring. Actually Real Wrestling. Here from Madison Square Garden, live on Twitch and YouTube. We thank you for tuning in as Frank hits a power bomb, goes for seconds. Unbelievable strength by the Freight Train, stacks him up for the pin, but it's broken up immediately by Everyman. And now Everyman was going to go for the ground and pound, but Frank just powered out of it. Belly to back suplex this time by Frank. Front face lock, and he gets up. The Mangler for the suplex. What action here. Setting up for the pile driver. He got it. Did the Everyman. And Everyman somehow managing to carve his way back into this matchup. And curse of the commentator as he goes for the ride on the double power bomb by the two powerhouses. The Mangler and the Freight Train. And there's that three-point stance again, but this time answers. Does Frank McMichelson here, showing off the defensive tackles cardio. Dug down deep for a second shot there. And they're working in the corner now. You can see these men, no one wanting to get too far away from the action at a risk of not being involved in the final decision to crown a winner. And Tarkin, the Mangler, getting fired up here. Reversal by the Freight Train, just laid out Everyman, just lean back. Nothing fancy about that. Inside shoulder by Frank now. He's going to work on Tank. Front face lock for the Everyman. Suplex broken up by Tarkin, the Mangler. And sends him into the corner now. What's going to happen here? Kick to the midsection. Just gassed. Everyman in that knee to the head. He certainly felt that. Big right hand by the Mangler, and he hits a running kick on the down Freight Train. The Freight Train right back up, lands a right hand. What action here on Actually Real Wrestling, folks. A big right hand lands for Everyman. He's coming to the opposite side and stomps on Tarkin, the Mangler. And Everyman fights his way out of the double team this time. Impressive showing by Everyman, but he's just not able to get the Freight Train up for the German suplex. Second time now, Freight Train just leaned back and crushed Everyman. And a big drop kick. Not sure if it was the drop kick or punch that landed first. But there are two quick elbows, clubbing blows by Tarkin, and Tarkin's going up top here. He's waiting. Who's going to be the victim? No. Goes up top, and here's a big open palm strike. And look at Everyman getting desperate here, just swinging the arms here, trying to get anything going, trying to get some offense in, and simultaneous punches land. That puts down both Everyman and the Mangler. Mangler sends Everyman into the rope. Falling slam by Frank, the Freight Train. Scoop slam on the Everyman. And a big slap by Tarkin and a release German suplex. Manages to throw the defensive tackle overhead. Unbelievable action here as we cross the 40-minute mark in this triple threat match. Certainly one of the longer matches we've had here on Actually Real Wrestling. A testament to how badly these men want that final slot in the tournament. How much that means they understand it's going to incorporate past champions, the best of the best. In real wrestling, in fictional edits, everyone wants to represent. And a running power slam for Frank. Go for the cover, Frank. That's your window. Had the opportunity, but Everyman right on top of it. Not going to let him get off that easy. It will be a challenge indeed. Who is going to pull it off here? Suplex broken up by the spinning heel kick. And a slam by Frank on Everyman. Tarkin flexing for the crowd. He knocks out Everyman with a couple quick strikes. Clubbing blow to the back. From the freight train, Frank McMichelson. Marcus, greatly appreciate the plug on Facebook. Not currently there myself, so the representation is much appreciated. I am on Instagram at JeffSundayGG. We do post ARW clips there. It's a weigh-in. A DM from Instagram today made the opening match between the Ultimate Warrior and The Rock. Reach out. I'm not hard to find. Would love to know what you think, where you want to see ARW go next after the tournament and beyond. Stalling suplex lands for Frank. Tarkin into the ropes, and he hits that running kick, this time on the Everyman. Puts Frank into the corner, and a hard body slam by Tarkin the Mangler. Puts Everyman down, but he answers right back with an elbow. Two big slaps, simultaneous from Tarkin the Mangler. And a double axe handle and a kick from the Everyman puts down Frank. And could the Everyman sneak a win here? He's firing up. Couldn't get that German suplex. No, he just goes for the left hand. That puts down Frank. But a big slap by Tarkin as he measures the freight train. What's Tarkin going to set up here? It's a kick to the midsection. A big slap to the Everyman. Block shot there by Frank. Sometimes that's what you got to do. If you see the shot coming, you cover up. Big elbow. Front face lock by the Everyman. He got Frank up for the suplex. Celebrating too early was Tarkin as he gets hit with a double axe handle smash by Frank, who then smashes Everyman in the turnbuckle in the corner. Stalking the Everyman. Running power slam lands for Frank the Freight Train. Going for it on the Mongolian. He got him up as well. Suplex attempt reversed by Frank. He got it. Frank starting to put it together here. But it seems these competitors all want it so badly. This is now crossing the territory of eclipsing that match between the NWO and the Bullet Club. This is going to be the longest actually real wrestling match in our short history here. This being our 11th stream. And a belly-to-back suplex lands for the Everyman. Gets him up for that Samoan drop, rolls it through, and Tarkin is waiting and hits the jumping kick from the top. Everyman knocked himself out in the corner. Frank could have been the victim of the cover there. I believe he did. And submission now from Frank. Will the Mongolian submit? No, broken up by the Everyman. I thought the torture rack could have spelled the end for Tarkin the Mangler. Jumping fisherman by the Mongolian. This time a slap for a right hand from Everyman. The three-point stance knocks him down. A clubbing blow knocks down Frank. But how much gas do these guys have? No one staying down for long. It's going to take incredible timing, strategy, as the Everyman able to use some of that catches. Everyman gets a submission on Frank and gets the victory. And Tarkin the Mangler is shocked as he's lost the opportunity. Wouldn't you know it? The guy on the receiving end of most of the offense manages the victory. The Everyman is now in the actual heavyweight championship tournament coming up in just just next week. Next Sunday will be our first stream of that matchup. My goodness, if you're still hanging on, I appreciate you. What an incredible match there. We'll go to some previous action temporarily while we queue up our next match. Well, it's a huge world of professional wrestling. It means that we have nothing but options when it comes to bringing in talent, especially given that we have the opportunity to go into the past and present and pull from all sorts of places. But today, these are two active female competitors on the wrestling scene today. I'm so very excited to bring this match to you, as it will feature Tessa Blanchard, daughter of the Hall of Famer Tully Blanchard, competing out of the AAA League where she's currently a title holder, and she will face Sexy Star out of Lucha Underground, also debuted in professional boxing as well as mixed martial arts. She's undefeated in both. Indeed, Marcus Tarkin looked stunned on that, just didn't even heel off and take shots on the Everyman, just shocked watching as he saw that championship opportunity go by him. Two more big matches for you on the card, and we go now to the ring. As we mentioned, Tessa Blanchard, the diamond of AAA wrestling down in Mexico, had a spot in the Mae Young Classic on WWE. You may know her from there, but she's doing bigger, better things down in AAA. And she's never faced this woman before, a star of Lucha Underground, La Reina de Reinas, the Queen of Queens, Sexy Star. Earl Hebner, who's had a hell of a task tonight officiating our action, calls for a start to this matchup between these two lady competitors, and we are underway, folks. A lot of speed, a lot of power, and ability in this ring, as Sexy Star tosses Tessa to the outside, but Blanchard right back in. As you can see, Blanchard does have the size advantage on Star, but size isn't everything in the sport of pro wrestling, as Star attempts the pinning predicament, but no count. Lariat lands for Blanchard. She goes into the submission, and Star able to escape. Trying to create some space here, looking for an opening, but Blanchard just moving right in with the offense. Has Sexy Star on the back foot, but Star hits the snapmare takedown. Good psychology, good positioning by Star. She's knows she can't win an all-out battle of strength, so she's creating space, getting in and out. But when you're in, Blanchard can pull off submission maneuvers like that, and that's the trouble. But Star now, front face lock, takes Blanchard to the top rope. Is she gonna go for it? Frankensteiner hits for Sexy Star off the top rope. What a move. Yeah. But Blanchard right back on the offensive, stalling suplex. My goodness, how long was she up there? And Blanchard really likes this submission. Almost trying to get into the head of Sexy Star as she hits the knife edge chop. Star answers with a boot. Front face lock. Has her up for years, it seems, as she sends her to the outside with the suplex. As we look on at the actually real wrestling ring. And we are now able to turn on our camera crew, engage them, and get you some different looks at the action here. Again, the camera is brought to us by Carlzilla and the Mod Pack. As Blanchard here, working on seemingly every limb. Pinning predicament. 2 and kick out by Sexy Star. Not ready to go out yet. Indeed, as she is in most rings, as Sexy Star going for the helicopter. The big swing there, shades of Cesaro. What strength by Sexy Star. She reverses this double underhook attempt with a back body drop. That could have been bad news if Blanchard connected there. And Star hits the drop kick on the downed Blanchard, but she's right back up, going to work on the legs. And there's a code breaker. Code breaker by Blanchard. She's going up top, waiting on Star to get up, and she hits a code breaker from the top rope. She calls it the MX. Covered by Blanchard, and kick out by Star with just on the 2 count. Great sequence there by Tessa Blanchard as she takes in this ARW crowd. Goes for the cover, outside leg hooked, kick out by Star again. Jumping pump kick misses, but a right hand lands, and Tessa with an innovative kick, but takes a swinging neck breaker from Star, and a bridging pin by Star, but too close to the rope. It's a rope break. Kick there to the inside leg there, and drops onto the knee. Trying to limit the mobility of Sexy Star, but it doesn't hinder that snap suplex as she hits that falling drop kick. And Sexy Star with the octopus hold, middle of the ring. Could we have a submission? No. Blanchard flips her over. And now it's time to straight. The closed fist for the slaps of Sexy Star. Star gets the better end of it, drops the leg drop on Blanchard. Again, using that speed. She looks like she's in the retreat, but this time lands as the face buster on Blanchard. She's into the ropes. Around the world tornado DDT by Sexy Star. Shades of The Rock, who we saw earlier on the card. And she has Blanchard on the outside. Is she going to bring her in? Yes, with a suplex. Oh, what a maneuver by Sexy Star. The suplex from the outside. And this time going for that, hanging her out to dry, that coffin drop by Sexy Star as she hits the ropes. Blanchard's out. Tornado DDT again from Star. And now Blanchard considering what to do here. The short arm clothesline, a wise move by Blanchard to cut her off and start swinging the momentum in her favor. Star escapes that suplex and she's going up top. Drops the leg drop from the top rope. Could she be wrapping it up here? Pump kick lands for Sexy Star, but a down Blanchard hits the boot, creates an opening for herself after the nice sequence by Sexy Star. Abdominal stretch, octopus hold, rope break, says Earl Hebner.
Yeah.
He's let a lot of low shots go, but he's been on it for most of the rope break calls. Excellent job, Earl Hebner, senior official. Another submission from Sexy Star. Nowhere near the rope is Blanchard. Could this be the submission? No, she powers out of it. And the power advantage just might have saved the night for Tessa Blanchard. As she steps behind Sexy Star, now it's Star getting behind her. Goes back to the submission. It's been working for her well thus far. Could it be the submission here? Hebner was checking on her. Blanchard was in deep. That octopus hold. And another escape by Sexy Star. Drops the leg again, but she's gassed after that. Not going for the finish. Blanchard sends her to the rope and has her up in a press slam. What strength by Blanchard. Tosses her to the outside, right in front of the commentary here. And plancha by Blanchard. My goodness, right to the outside. Follows it up with a short arm clothesline. And she is just having her way with Sexy Star right now. What a move by Blanchard. High risk, huge reward. As she hits the stalling suplex and then eats a face buster. Count is at 15. Sexy Star breaks the count, as does Blanchard right behind her. These first two representing that lightweight division that we are growing on Actually Real Wrestling will be highly featured. As Sexy Star hits the Bronco Buster into the corner, and Blanchard on the receiving end didn't like that. Answers back with a quick elbow.
Yeah.
Double underhook, DDT by Blanchard. That could be it. That's her finishing maneuver. Confident pin by Blanchard. 2 and 3 count. Tessa Blanchard is your winner, collecting the victory over Sexy Star. And Blanchard, her full ability on display. The Avant Blanchard, as Marcus called it. 94% and 4 stars. Great matchup between these two competitors in our lightweight division. And coming up next, we are here for the main event. Coming to the ring now, the 8th wonder of the world, Andre the Giant. And his opponent from Death Valley, the Phenom, the Undertaker. Referee Earl Hebner calling for a start to this matchup. And here we go. These two giants. Can't believe they are here in the ARW ring. And could this be a later round matchup? It could be a preview of the actual heavyweight championship tournament. Tonight, just an exhibition. And you'll see a lot of familiar faces in that tournament from previous ARW streams. We've been trying to put as many of the biggest names together for you. And it doesn't get much bigger than Andre and Taker. These are men who made their names dominating rosters. This version of Andre from the 80s, late 70s, in his prime. Just a beast. As he hits the clubbing blow and stomps on Taker. They trade kicks. Taker sends Andre into the corner. Undertaker in his later years adopted a MMA style striking style. You see the stance there. His jabs and straights are things to be feared, as are the elbows. A stiff one there to the jaw. And here comes the ground and pound technique from Undertaker. They both missed with the strikes there, but that big left hand didn't. Andre sends her the ropes. Taker blocked the big boot. And Andre with the backbreaker. No one can hang the Undertaker up like that. Unless you're the likes of Andre the Giant. A knee right to the side of the head of Undertaker, and a kitchen sink right to the midsection. Opposite sides now, and Andre just jumped up and threw his 500-pound frame just right into the Undertaker. That knocked him down. The dead man here, he's smart. He's fighting smart, you can see, as he creates space, managing the distance here. And there's a jab for the Undertaker, and follows it up with a double axe handle to the back. Absolutely, as we have a first cover here from Andre, just a 1 count. This is the first appearance of both these two men on ARW airwaves. And so it'll be huge for either of them to have the victory going into the actual heavyweight championship tournament, to be crowned the first ever actual heavyweight champion of the world. So absolutely, this is an exhibition, but momentum, as we all know, is so key in pro wrestling, as Andre sits down on that Boston Crab. Who could blame The Undertaker for submitting, but he kicks out of it on his own steam. Andre, just that blank stare, ready to inflict punishment on his opponent, but rarely has he been in a ring with someone who measures up in this way, as Andre hits the rope, drops the elbow, and just lays across Taker and gets the 2.9 count. And same thing there. Who could sell Undertaker short if he couldn't kick out from 500 pounds of Andre the Giant laying on you for the pin? But Undertaker able to kick out at the last moment. 3-point stance and a shoulder tackle takes down Undertaker. World's strongest slam lands for Andre. It's been all Andre for the past few minutes, but Taker now missing in the corner. Andre's quicker than he looks. Moves out of the way at the last moment and then stomps again on the back. Pretty light on his feet for 500 pounds. And a big chop just knocked the wind out of the Undertaker. Cover by Andre. 2, and it's a 3 count. Andre the Giant with a huge open palm slap onto the chest of the Undertaker knocked the wind out of him. And Andre just put the whole bracket on notice with that single strike. Able to finish the Undertaker with a move as simple as that. Look out, bracket. Heavyweights are officially on notice. And that brings us to the conclusion of this ARW stream. Marcus, we thank you so much for interacting in the chat the whole way through. I'm glad you're enjoying this. I'm glad we found each other, man. And this is a time where you probably want to leave, but I have to say thank you to the awesome community and all the folks around me making this possible. I've said it a couple times today, but first off, the Mod Pack by Carl Zilla for Fire Pro Wrestling. If you're just getting going, you have to start there, especially if you're on Steam. I want to thank my buddy, the commissioner at Wrestling Cup Classic, commentating over there now on Thursday night trap downs. It's an excuse for me to call, see more Fire Pro action, not have to worry about stream controls and all this other stuff. It is awesome. Having so much fun. Called my first card there for WCC this past Thursday. We're taking a week off, but back the 24th for the later rounds of their Super Junior tournament. Can't wait for that. The Fire Pro Critical Club Discord server. And I believe Marcus representing that Good Fights Wrestling Gamer Under Development who's been so kind and is a neighbor of mine just right up the road here from where I am in Portland. Want to say what's up to the DL Gaming podcast. I've been listening to them for several years. I've plugged the stream a couple times there. We got Zap in, so that was a win. Zap on Twitch, thanks for dropping by. Kasagi. Following each other. Rex, I hope you enjoyed the card as well. And welcoming a new follower, BSTRN. If you're seeing this after the fact, thank you for joining. I've been your host, Jeff Sunday. Marcus, you being here and enjoying it and saying so makes putting on this show worth it. It is work. The thing that I've discovered as I've been streaming this every week, you want it to get better. Fire Pro and mods want to work against you, and Streamlabs all wants to work against me, but I don't care. You guys are patient, and you guys are hanging in the chat and saying what's up. It means the world. I can't tell you how awesome that is. If you know someone who might enjoy the stream, I hope you're passing it along, helping us grow. That's where we need the most help. But beyond that, I'm not hard to find. DM me, by all means. DMs are open. Feedback, suggestions, I want to hear it all. At Twitter, at Jeff Sunday, and on Instagram, at Jeff Sunday GG. JeffSunday.com now has a landing page with links to all of the above. JeffSunday.com, I'll drop that in the chat. I want to thank Big Bad J Rad for the fantastic graphic, and we will see you next week. If anyone's still in the chat, why not reveal some of the matches for the actual heavyweight championship tournament? We can run through that first series of matches on night one, round one. Was not going to do this, but why not? The industry, they call this a tease. And of course, the card is always subject to change. But the first night of matches will include Seth Rollins versus Bray Wyatt, Hiroshi Tanahashi taking on his tag team partner of late on ARW, Kazuchika Okada. The Dream Team are officially broken up on ARW, losing that tag team matchup for the actual tag team championship to Finn Balor and Asuka just last week. And they will vie to advance in the tournament, Tanahashi and Okada. And a lot of these matchups you'll hear are familiar or ripped from the cards. They all would be main event tier cards. You'll recognize these. But in the second round, all bets are off. You're going to see some crossovers, some promotions. Marcus asks about a Discord. Yes, it exists. I don't know that it's quite ready for prime time. But Marcus, you can find me certainly on the good Discord. DM me right there, man. Say what's up. I'd love to pick your brain and chat with you sometime. And the other two matches on that card, it will be the Beast, Brock Lesnar, taking on the man who he just won the WWE Championship from, Kofi Kingston. Kofi is going to get his fair shake here on ARW. It was a travesty, in my opinion, what they did to Kofi on SmackDown just a couple weeks ago on the debut night. And I'll say this, I'm biased here. I'm pulling for Kofi in that one. I want Kofi to right the wrong and advance to the second round. And our final match for that night, it will be the Macho Man, Randy Savage, Pinky in the Air, the cream of the crop, taking on Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, who you saw on a Fatal 4-Way recently on ARW. That will be the card for next week. It's all out of the bag. That's all we'll reveal for now. Thank you so much for tuning in to Actually Real Wrestling. It's so much effing fun. We'll see you next time, folks. Have a good night and have a great week. I will see you next week, Sunday, 5 p.m. Jeff Sunday. Easy to remember, right? Take it easy, y'all. Peace.